Yo. We are back at it again. Sabs in for a podcast. Thank you for rocking with us as long as we have. Make sure you're following us everywhere on social media, wherever you get your podcast from. We're here with the regular six: Terrence, Dave, Corey, Dre, BT. Fellas, we got a lot of topics to cover around the world of hoops. And we're going to start again like we did last week. We're going to start with the NCAA. And we didn't get to it again. We didn't get to it last week, so we're going to deep dive as we're coming up on the end of the regular season. We have the bracketology coming out. We're about to get that regular 64, 68 now team bracket with the play-in games. Right now, the last four teams in, according to Joe Lenardi, are Seton Hall, New Mexico, the University of Virginia, and Wake Forest. The first four out are St. John's, Utah, Providence, and Iowa. Right now, some of the teams we follow, Carolina is currently a 2 seed in the Eastern. Dave, UConn is that 1 seed in the East as well. We've got Purdue as the 1 seed in the Midwest, with Marquette rounding out the 2. On the West Coast, we got Arizona and Caleb Love and the boys as the 1 seed out there on the West, Iowa State being the 2. And then, of course, in Dallas, we got Houston as the 1 and the number 2 seed right now as Tennessee. Fellas, what do y'all think is going to happen with these brackets? Do you think, some of these teams will stay right where they are? We know we're coming up on the last week of the year. Big-time rivalry games are happening on Saturday. Of course, we got Carolina, Duke. You got Houston versus Kansas once again. Some other big-time rivalry games, big-time conference games to end out the regular season. So started off with you, Terrence. What do you think is going to happen the last, week, and then how is this going to affect the brackets moving forward?
Not to sound like a homer, but I'm very, curious to see what's going to happen with Carolina and where they're going to end up because I could see them putting Carolina in Arizona's region for that Caleb Love revenge game against his former team. The men's game needs storylines to sell, and why not have those two teams potentially, meet up in the probably the West region if Arizona's the 1 seed. So Carolina, is one of those teams where it's going to be very interesting to see. They played UConn earlier in the year. It was a pretty intense game. UConn pulled away at the end, and you could probably have a rematch there as well. I think the 1 seeds are pretty much almost set, except maybe if Arizona loses early in the Pac-12, let's say Carolina wins the ACC tournament, maybe Carolina could jump them as a 1 seed. But I think the 1 seeds are pretty much set. I'm just looking at the ACC. The perception of the league has been down. You have 2 teams that are literally 2 of the 4 last teams in the NCAA tournament, according to ESPN. Wake Forest has been struggling since they beat Duke in the whole court storming incident. Virginia got absolutely smacked by Duke the other day. They lost to Carolina. They've been barely struggling to score 50 points, 40 points in games. So the ACC, can they hold on? Because, those 2 teams are on the wrong side of the bubble, or a team wins a conference tournament that's not supposed to win. One of those teams is going to be out. The ACC could possibly only have maybe 3 teams, in the NCAA tournament. So that's pretty much what I'm looking for at the moment.
Yo, when was that updated though?
He updated
Yesterday.
this as of
Yesterday.
9:30 yesterday.
Interesting.
Morning,
Monday
9:30
night.
even morning yesterday.
Oh no, sorry, Tuesday night.
Oh, Monday night.
Oh, yeah, Monday night, Tuesday morning, yeah.
So
Interesting.
as of right now, like Terrence said, the ACC, you got Clemson in, of course, Carolina, and I think the only other team is Duke.
Duke.
Minus.
That makes sense.
Like you said, the ACC is kind of hanging on by a thread. You got 2 teams on the last 4 in, but like you said, all it takes is a weird conference tournament getting out of control, some 8 seed in a conference tournament winning, but that snatches a playoff, a tournament spot right there. So, Dre, what are your thoughts on the tournament and, what could possibly shake out for some of these teams? I know one of our friends, shout out to Trav, he's a Kentucky fan. Kentucky right now, I think, is a 4 seed, if I remember correctly.
It's about right for them.
Yeah.
They are a 4 seed in the Midwest, so they would have to, go through Purdue and that bracket right there with Marquette and a couple other teams in there. So, Dre, what are your thoughts on the bracketology so far? What do you think can shake out for Selection Sunday? Not this Sunday, but the Sunday afterwards.
I mean, from what I saw this season, pretty much seems straightforward where they got teams at. No real surprises. I guess what T alluded to is really going to come down to if like South Florida don't win their conference tournament or something like that. That's going to really hurt some of these teams. And the 1 seeds are kind of solidified, but I think the team that's a 2 seed that can push for that 1 seed is Tennessee right now. SEC is a stronger conference. And right now they're up by at least 9 on South Carolina, so that would be another good road win for Tennessee. They pull that off and then finished off the season with another win this weekend, possibly winning this conference tournament. I think they complete all of those, and maybe a team like Arizona kind of stumbles at the end of the season. They can possibly move up to number 1, and then Arizona move down to the 2 seed. So Tennessee is the team I'm watching because I swear that white boy can ball. Connect balls.
Yeah, he can ball.
That's a future Miami Heat player right there. I try. He checks all the boxes. He's gonna be over 20. He's gonna be over 20. He can shoot. He plays the right way. All he's gonna do is have to be on that Miami Heat diet and culture. Outside that, he already looked like he fit the bill. Yeah, he coachable, so he looked like he fit the bill. So yeah, Tennessee is my interested team I'm looking for, and I remember y'all actually played a close game with them earlier this season, right? I think y'all pulled that game off, and he got hurt towards the end. But Tennessee's a scrappy team, and it's no coincidence they like the number 14 in the nation right now.
Yeah, that kind of we're gonna kind of talk about it. Overall, the theme is kind of just everything in the men's college side has kind of been like, status quo. Like you said, the 1 seeds are kind of set. And I think both of those shout outs, Terrence's and Dre's, about, Carolina might be trying to slide into that 1 spot as well as Tennessee as well, trying to slide into that 1 line as well. Dave, what is your kind of thoughts? I know your UConn men are sitting pretty good at the 1 spot in the East. The Big East is not a cakewalk per se, but, do y'all think y'all kind of got that solidified? Y'all ain't going nowhere, or do you see some late,
I mean, UConn nice, but Big East fucking dead, bro. That shit look like that shit like King Kong and the Godzilla versus King Kong movie on life support. That shit. But UConn, but not taking anything from UConn. UConn's still nice, but Big East as a league is just pitiful right now.
No, it's not what it used to be, man. Like when you go if you take the clock back to 2011, there were, I think, 11 teams that made the tournament that year.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
18, so it's not what it used to be for sure. But I would actually disagree with the 1 seeds being fully set. I think if everyone handles their business, with the remaining 1 or 2 games this week, then it's set. But I think UConn, if it would be very nice if they can beat Marquette tonight and they can beat Providence, and I think it'll be set. I think a team like Tennessee, or even if UNC beats Duke and then wins the ACC tournament, you can sneak up to a number 1 seed, especially if UConn falls off, or a team like Arizona falls off, or if Purdue falls off, or Houston. If Houston loses to Kansas and doesn't do well in the Big 12 tournament, they could possibly fall up. But I think just them being the overall seed right now, that may not happen. But I don't think it's fully solidified yet. I think there's still a margin of error that's not to be played with. I would like for UConn to get these last couple wins, just so that we don't have to worry about the Big East tournament, and that we can just focus on being the 1 seed in the East, not having to leave the Northeast region. We would play in Brooklyn the first 2 games and then go to Boston to play the next 2. So before going to the Final Four. So That's how I feel about it. But it's not. I don't think it's a set thing. And looking at the bubble, just looking forward to kind of what's ahead with the conference tournaments. Um, if the ACC, they got it as 5 right now, it could be 3. I don't. Yeah, like teams like TCU could fall out of that. The Big East could go from 9 to 8 or 9 or possibly get one more depending on who makes some run. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see in those particular tournaments. The Big 12 and the SEC tournaments are going to be. There's going to be some really good basketball there because they're projected to have the most teams get into the tournament. So yeah, I mean things are shaping out pretty well. You can always expect unpredictability when it comes to March Madness. So yeah, man, it's looking forward. It's looking like we're gonna get some good basketball ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. The one team that has kind of been, I just want to kind of get Corey and kind of rest of everybody. I kind of want to get their idea. Joe Lunardi has always had Purdue as his number 1 overall seed. Do you see that not changing at all, or do you see maybe somebody possibly proven enough these last couple of games and conference tournaments to where they're number 1 overall seed in the tournament? Or is Purdue pretty much locked in that spot in the Midwest in Detroit?
Honestly, right now, that's the only way that you can go unless they stumble in their tournament. I really don't see them walking out with it, but that's the only way that we can go right now. Honestly, I still see UConn having that chance. I really don't see Houston making that move there. For whatever reason, I really feel like they're going to give the overall seed to UConn. That's how I've been looking at it. UConn has played the most consistent ball. They played the best ball overall so far this season. That's literally how I have it.
I would say the only way UConn could get it if Houston slips up and UConn wins the rest of their regular season games and wins the tournament. But if Houston beats Kansas and runs through the Big 12 tournament, they get in the overall seed. Just because the Big 12 is the toughest the Big 12 and the SEC are the toughest conferences. So you gotta give it to Houston. And even
True.
One thing I've been thinking about is the teams that I would not want to see in the tournament. I don't want to seeing Houston. I think we would possibly see them either in the Final Four in the national championship if we get there. That's a tough athletic defensive team that you don't want to see. And so if they're able to win, run the table through so far and get their spot, and you don't want to see that team.
That's what you're pulling for your bracket day? Is that your finals in the bracket, cuz? Did we just get a preview of your bracket, cuz?
I think what's the South is the South. The winner of the South would play. We'll see each other. We'll see each other in the Final Four. Yeah. That's how I got it. UConn and Houston right on that side. So, man, So there's 2 teams I don't want to see. I don't want to see Houston, and I don't want to see UNC because revenge is a bitch. And I know UNC wants that revenge.
Don't run from the smoke.
I know UNC.
Hey, yo, BT.
Look, I'm just saying.
I'm stay out of this. This is not my fault.
We'll play. But I'm look, that I'm saying that as y'all give us the toughest time. Those are the 2 teams that'll give us the toughest time, in my opinion.
Purdue some frauds. Fuck them.
Well, speaking of UNC, that was going to be my question for BT. I just want to know, BT, what is the path needed for UNC to get back to the Final Four and possibly get back to a national championship game coming out of the East bracket, possibly having to go through Dave's UConn Huskies? Is there a path for this version of the Carolina of Tar Heels getting to the Final Four and getting to a national titles. That's what we base everything off of. It's championships, and that's what we want. Nothing else. Everything else is a failure. So is there a path to that point?
Facts. Nah. So the path for UNC to get back to the national championship is UNC. I don't know what UNC team gonna show up. Is it gonna be the team that beat Duke? You know what I'm saying? Or is it gonna be the team that lost to Syracuse and Georgia Tech?
Facts.
So the path is gonna be UNC. I think UNC can compete with any team in the nation if UNC show up, because defense travels, and they got one of the best defenses in the country.
You got
my
UNC
bad, y'all. Somebody got banged on, but it didn't matter. Tennessee won though.
UNC has guard play. You have defense. The other aspect and what you need to win a national championship is coaching.
I was about to say coaching.
What is Hubert Davis going to do?
That's why I said I don't know what UNC team going to show up, because you got the guard play. To me, I'm biased. I don't give a fuck. RJ the best guard in the country.
Talk that shit.
Hands down.
Talk that shit.
So
I don't think that's even being biased for real. I can't think of nobody. I really can't think of anybody else that's like.
We got Mr. Triple Double up here, bro. We got Mr. Triple Double up where I'm at, bro. Like I'm just saying, dog.
That's cute.
I'm just saying,
but anyway,
future Wharton Award winner.
That's who you got winning, or is this bias? This bias in the Northeast.
I like RJ Davis. I like his game a lot. But I also like Tristan Newton. I like what he provides. I think he's grown a lot into his role in the point guard position at UConn. Because last year, like around like the mid-season, like around like the January timeframe of last year, man, it was kind of like, you know, he was just trying to fit in, but you know, he got up to speed and he really caught on like when we made that run last year. So I like RJ Davis a lot, but you know, I'm obviously pulling for you know my guards over here too. So yeah, man.
I got one more X factor. My X factor for UNC is Elliot Cadeau, that freshman point guard.
Yeah.
If he shows up and get busy on these folks, it's gonna be a long tournament for people.
Yeah.
Because he getting that confidence that he had in high school. So that's another X factor.
I could definitely see him being an X factor.
Like I said, man, if the right UNC team show up, we're going to the Final Four. So that's why I'm at with it. And I don't care about seeing UConn. I don't care about seeing Arizona. I don't care about seeing none of these teams.
Talk your shit, BT.
If the right UNC team show up, UNC going to the Final Four.
Yeah, BT.
Man, you know,
hey, man,
y'all already know me. Bro.
I'll just say, UConn go back to back. I need my moment on here.
Oh God.
I need my moment.
I just want to know, Dave, are you going to give
this is not going to be no. Well, you know it's going to be a winning speech because we're going to have a trophy. So ain't going to be no question about that. Oh no, I'm not saying shit. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying a word.
Lesson on that one.
I'm not saying a word. But man, I'm looking forward to what can possibly happen down the road.
It does look like that East is going to get real interesting. And I want to kind of go back to something that was brought up in the pod. You know, Terrence and Dre brought this up and kind of want to have a discussion. The SEC, which is mostly known for being a football conference, with your Alabama, your LSUs, you know, Florida in the past has been dominant. You know, the national championships that they've been racked up on the football field is almost now its translation to the basketball court with the amount of teams that they've gotten into this tournament. So I kind of want to turn it over to those two guys and say, guys, what do y'all feel like this resurgence on the basketball court and where it's come from for a conference that's been mainly in the eyes of the wider media and the wider, you know, just casual fans, a football conference is now putting up 7, you know, they got 7 in there right now, according to Joe Lenardi, could be up to 8, 9 teams in the tournament. You know, where does this resurgence of basketball in the SEC come from?
Money. TV money. When you know, all the money from the TV they get from these networks, They've invested more into their basketball programs. They have NIL setups for the football teams. Obviously, trickles down to the basketball teams. And because they have such a great TV contract, they just have money to really invest in these more into the basketball, and they hire good coaches. Outside of Cal Power, you got Rick Barnes at Tennessee. You got Bruce Pearl at Auburn. Um, is Frank Martin still at South Carolina?
Nah, I think he retired, right?
He
Yeah,
retired,
Yeah.
I believe.
yeah.
Well, I mean, South Carolina, they made the Final Four, with Frank Martin 17, and we've seen a resurgence in them on the men's side. They're more known for their women's basketball than their men's basketball with their ranks. Um, they've hired good coaches. Nate Oates at Alabama, really good coach. Um, they've just been able to invest more and more, and this is kind of why the ACC is down, and some of the team that the ACC has brought in for basketball, they're supposed to be the best basketball conference when they did all this realignment. You bring in Louisville, after they win a championship, you bring in Syracuse, that has tradition. They haven't performed up to their expectations. Louisville's been a disaster since the Patino situation. When Boston College first joined the ACC, they were a solid team, tournament team. They fell off really hard. Um, Georgia Tech, in the old ACC, when it was 9 teams, they were a perennial tournament team. Jared Jack and Bynum and some of those guys, and they've had hard times. And Damon Stoudemire, looking to turn that around. But yeah, I mean, the ACC, it's really money. You see it in football, and it's trickling down to basketball. The conferences that have the great TV deals through football are able to invest more in basketball, and the ones that don't, except for the Big 12, some of Houston has been like a sleeping giant in basketball. They had some tradition, Drexler and King, and they've been able to tap in, and they hired a good coach. And then you like TCU, Baylor, some of these football schools are investing more into basketball, but you know Arizona's coming to the Big 12, so that's going to be a boost for the Big 12 as well in basketball, as well as football. They had some good coaches who were coming football, but literally, when you see these networks and pumping all this money to the SEC, Big Ten football, the Big Ten is kind of in the middle this year, but when they add some of these other schools, it's going to be interesting what they do in the basketball court. But it's really just the economics of college sports and the teams that are able to be in these big football conferences have more money to throw to the other programs, and the ones that don't, you're seeing the effects of it, and you see why teams like UNC and Florida State and Clemson are trying to get out of the ACC. So that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, and to piggyback on T's point, especially when it comes to the coaches, let's remember Jerry Stackhouse is a coach at Vanderbilt. That's how deep they are when it comes to these coaches.
Wow.
Like when you have a coach with that won maybe one or maybe a couple of G League trophies. We was thinking he was going to be in position to get an NBA coaching job at some point, but he decided to go to Vanderbilt. But when Calipari decided to go to Kentucky, when that job opened, that pretty much rung the bell in the SEC because he came in, he started to dominate, and not only was he winning basketball games, he was churning out not even just players going to the NBA, he was churning out all-star, all-pro, all-NBA caliber players into the NBA. When you bring in your first recruiting class, everybody that started pretty much got drafted in the first round, or all freshmen got drafted in the first round. And then you keep going into like Brandon Knight, Terrence Jones. Then you talk about the AD, Cat, Devin Booker, De'Aaron Fox. Like the list goes on and on. What Calipari did in Kentucky. And one of my points in the chat was that eventually people just get tired seeing the same team winning, so they're going to do whatever it takes in order to knock off that powerhouse. And that's when you start seeing, like T said, like Bruce Pearl's at Auburn, Rick Barnes at Tennessee, Oates at Alabama. And what we're seeing right now is not only the coaches are getting better in the SEC, even the players are getting better in the SEC. We see Cam Thomas from LSU, Robert Williams from Texas A&M. Y'all boy Brandon Miller, second pick in the draft this year, who could probably have been first if it wasn't for Victor for Wemby. So this is a type of talent and a type of coaching that's happening right now in the SEC on the basketball level. And not only is it produced on the men's side, it's levels above when you talk about the women's side, how much publicity they're be getting. So SEC is not really, and then we're not even going to get how elite they are when it comes to baseball. That's a different subject for another day. So SEC by itself is its own powerhouse when it comes to college sports.
Baseball.
So like right now they like leaps and bounds when you want to talk about overall sports, how much they
even
track. So
I think too.
I was about to say gymnastics. They've been
so you see like SEC if you talk about as a whole, they really like the king of the sport. Maybe they might not have that one team from each sport that's going to win it every year, but football is dominant. You're always going to have Alabama, LSU. Sometimes Florida in the mix. You got Georgia in the mix now. Now you're talking about basketball. You're always going to have your Kentucky, Alabama been stepping up. Tennessee's going to be around. South Carolina been stepping up. Auburn been getting McDonald's All-Americans right now and everything. And then, like I said, you got baseball. The baseball finals last year was between two SEC teams. And then you got gymnastics. And then one of the best track stars in the game right now is from the SEC. So, like, SEC is just on one. Everybody's just trying to play catch up. And like T said, when you get that TV deal, that money strickling, you get so much money, you got to be like, what we got to do with it? They're not going to bury it like some drug lords. They're going to spend it elsewhere.
When is their TV deal up?
Shit. They just started a new TV deal actually this fall.
Right.
That's even more money coming in.
That's more money.
Billions.
And then they just added Texas and Oklahoma.
Exactly. Two major brands on the college level. You just added to all of that.
And you talk about and those are also two teams that are well versed in all types of sports at the school. So you're going to get the basketball, you're going to get the football, you're going to get gymnastics, you're going to get track, baseball,
all that stuff.
So
it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, just like T and Dre said, investment, coaching, recruiting, Calipari changed everything. That even the SEC had before Calipari went to Kentucky, there were down years that SEC had. I remember the last time the SEC thrived like this was more so in the late 90s, 2000s, back when Kentucky was competing for championships with Tubby Smith. Arkansas had the 40 Minutes of Hell with Nolan Smith, I think. Nolan forgot his name. Nolan Richardson. Florida was good back then. Alabama even had teams that were sneaky good at the time in basketball.
Bruce Pearl was at Tennessee too.
Bruce Pearl was at Tennessee. So that was the last time. And then the SEC went through some down years where the ACC and the Big Ten and the Big East were the conferences. Where the conferences where you look to for basketball. So man, it came down to money, investment, coaching, recruiting. Just changes in those aspects.
Yeah, I can definitely say recruiting because we had a kid right here down the road in my hometown of Pittsburgh had an opportunity to pick from a bunch of different schools, and he was the number one player in the state, reclassified and ended up going to Alabama, which a lot of people were utterly confused when he had an opportunity to go to Carolina. And that just tells you how the landscape has changed when it comes to college hoops a lot and what the perception is to young kids.
Even if you think about it also too as well, like the talent is being moved as well. A lot of the talent is, especially with basketball, is being moved from the West Coast. Like, think about it. When was the last time we got a strong push from West Coast basketball players?
Like, as in like the team, like the West Coast teams, or just basketball players in general?
No, I meant teams. My apologies. Yeah, teams.
Oh, okay.
Probably back when
Gonzaga every
year. We're not counting no Gonzaga. Gonzaga every year, then they get knocked off.
No. But to your point, that's what's Gonzaga. If Gonzaga is the standard for the West Coast basketball for the past decade, then that's the problem. Then that's the problem because T can tell you before that national championship game, But against Baylor, I was like, something just hit me. I was like, you know what? They about to get ran for real, for real. And T was like, what are you talking about? I was like, the way Baylor played Houston in the Final Four, I was like, they ain't used to no nigga team like this. They that AAU team that play that perfect basketball. They got that one athletic dude that's going to be the show and everything. But when you gotta go against like team that's going to press up on you and everything, and then they're going to play like give you like two halves or crazy defense and press all that shit. I was like, oh, it's a wrap. Like Sucks got two quick fouls and it was over from there. I was like,
It was
it was two quick fouls
right there. Hey, remember those Duke teams? Those Duke teams that were like real finesse, but once they see like a very athletic, nigga team, yeah,
Always to say,
it'll be problems.
Until they face a nigga team.
Like we thought UCLA was getting better when it was getting Zach LaVine and Lonzo, but they kind of trickled right back down. So
yeah, I was about to say
UCLA got to the Final Four with like Jaquez, and then one year, but they lost to Gonzaga on that shot.
That Jalen Suggs shot.
Next year, they had a decent team, but then Carolina beat them in the Sweet 16, and then
so they're making I give UCLA they trying, but they not back to UCLA standard though.
No.
Think about it. Not like the year they were
when
we
back in 08 with Kevin Love and Westbrook.
All ones,
Well, we thought about West Coast ball. We thought about UCLA. We would think about even a USC first. We would think about Arizona, Oregon. We would think about teams like that.
Arizona
has had good teams in the regular season, but they get bounced early, and they get bounced before they even get to the Sweet 16. Like last year, they get bounced. They were 4. I think they were a 2 seed again. They get gotten bounced. So Arizona really this year, a team I'm watching to see if they can actually get to an Elite 8, Final Four, because they've had good teams recently, but they just don't get over the hump. You can't trust them in the tournament for whatever reason. So Arizona is a team that could be, but they gotta get it done in the tournament.
Facts.
Yeah.
So to wrap up the NCAA hoops talk real quick, we got some big games coming up this weekend. Of course, everyone, we have the second installment of Carolina Duke, this time emanating from Durham. We have, I believe, Kentucky is playing a big game this weekend.
Tennessee.
They play Tennessee. We got Kansas playing Houston in a huge game as well. So we got some big time games going on this weekend. So just to go kind of quickly around the table, what are your guys' thoughts on some of these games? Carolina Duke, obviously, we know how big that real quick. Sorry, T, go ahead.
Said earlier about it. I didn't have a chance to. So I know we talked about Purdue earlier, and you said Kentucky was in their bracket.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's a 4 seed in that bracket.
Kentucky will beat Purdue in the Sweet 16.
Woo!
That's not even a hot man. That's
guard play.
That's
guard play. Then they can put up points. Kentucky is the one team another team you don't want to see because they can flat out score the basketball. We got Dillingham and Shepard.
Yeah.
They can put points on the board.
Yeah.
Quick too.
But to get to the Carolina Duke game, the first game really was one of the 3-point line. Duke shot 50% from the floor. Carolina shot 50% from the floor. Duke only shot 26% from 3. Carolina shot 37% from 3. Then Carolina was able to get to the foul line a little bit more. Physicality was key in that first game as well. So the game's in Durham, but Carolina has RJ Davis. They have Baycott. They have veterans. So I think Carolina wins that game. I think Houston beat Kansas. Kansas has a lack of depth and it's hurt them in a couple games recently. And Houston's at home. They were looking for revenge. So I've got Houston. Kentucky versus Tennessee is interesting. I agree with Dre. Tennessee has a chance to get 1 seed if they can win the SEC, but the SEC is a gauntlet, and I don't know if they're going to win the SEC. I low-key want to pick Kentucky to win this game, but I'm going to go with Tennessee.
Yeah, I got UNC beating Duke. I got Houston beating Kansas. And is that Kentucky-Tennessee game at Tennessee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Tennessee.
It is in Knoxville.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna agree with the field there.
Dre,
Obviously, I
your
got
predictions
UNC.
or thoughts on these?
I'm gonna let Corey finish his thought first.
Okay. Yeah. Obviously,
my fault. Go
I
ahead,
got
Corey, my
UNC.
bad.
No, you good. I got UNC. I got UNC winning 75-71. So I think it's going to be a little bit closer of a game. Duke is going to be able to keep it close because obviously it's a home game for them. So yeah. Then I'm going Tennessee. Tennessee is going to outright win. I got them by 7, and then Houston as well too.
I'm gonna go with Kansas just because my boyfriend the Mather on the squad, so I'm gonna give him a shot. He been hooping this season. It's fuck Duke. I don't even have no stake in the ACC no more, but the old Maryland ACC in my heart is always going to pick against that team. It's fuck them. Hope some of these Duke fans come in the show one day, but I understand y'all don't want to show y'all faces. It's all good. Keep tweeting from your phones and your keyboards. We see y'all. We know y'all. We see y'all, man. Kentucky, Tennessee. White boy gets 35. Kentucky wins by 5.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh,
I like that.
BT to round this
All
out.
right.
I know he's
All
picking
right.
in the first game. You even got to say it.
Nah, I ain't gonna pick that first. I got Tennessee, got Houston, and I'm gonna say one thing before I make this prediction. If any nigga trying to bet me over this game, right? And you want to say,
Let's go! Let's
Yeah.
go! Let's go!
Download the DraftKings apps.
Nah, I'm saying, if any
Download.
niggas want to bet me over this game, right? But y'all scared to bet more money, but you ask me if I want to bet more money, and I say yeah, you say no. Like, don't ask me to bet, bro. Like, y'all niggas some hoes, man. No cap, y'all some hoes.
Yeah, that's my nigga. That's my nigga.
Why BT bring out the first person shooter, bro? Why you bring out the first person shooter, bro?
Straight from the bill.
Backstory, right?
Straight from the bill.
I bet this nigga on this game, on the UNC Duke game. All right, let's bet 25. He gonna ask me if I want to bet more. I'm like, yeah, let's bet more. Nigga said, nah, I don't want to bet more. I'm like, why you ask me if I want to bet more? Then nigga, if you gonna renege on the bet.
He ain't believe in his team, BT.
He ain't
believe in his team, BT. He ain't want to bet more than he could afford.
He ain't stand on no business.
So with that being said, I got UNC. It's gonna be a close game though, but I got UNC.
Very quickly, of course, I got Tennessee at home. I think it's gonna be a good game, but I think Tennessee will take care of business on their home court. I think Houston is a revenge game. They didn't like losing to Kansas the first time, so I think with the lack of depth that Kansas has, I definitely think Houston to get them. And then, of course, everybody said it's been fuck Duke since I can remember. So yeah, UNC's taking that game. It'll be close. I'm thinking 6 5-point game, something like that. We'll pull it out at the end. RJ and make a couple of free throws, ice the game, and we'll get them out of the paint real quick. We'll look on to the ACC tournament next week and try to wrap up another championship. We already racked up an ACC regular championship, ACC regular season championship. So try to get that conference tournament championship as well. Moving on
this is a good segue because it's only a 6-point game now, y'all.
Hey, that nigga Paul George smooth as hell too, bro. That nigga hit Brooks with a nasty crossover.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Nice little mid crossover to the media. That was segueing into the NBA. I don't know what to say other than this was a California-sized ass whooping that happened on Sunday. This game was prime time. It was in the middle of a Sunday afternoon. People were ready to sit back with the lunch or the meal and kick up their feet and watch a game. And I do not know what happened. It went left and it never recovered. Fellas, Golden State we've been kind of saying the dynasty is officially done. does this put the nail in the coffin for them, or is this just a game where they just did not care? I know some people were saying, even Bob Myers said it on the halftime report. This was a bigger game for Boston. Boston had lost to Golden State in the finals on their home court. The bigger game, revenge game for them. Was this a bigger game for just Boston coming out here and doing what they did and just showing that they're dominant as they can be? Or is this really just what Golden State is now in the year 2024 with the roster currently constructed as is?
It's a
Bob
little
Myers
bit.
knows what he's doing, bro. Bob Myers is a true media guy because how is it a bigger game for Boston when Boston is 8 games ahead of number 2 seed and the Warriors are fighting for a seeding in the West, which is very tight. You see what he did? Still a Warriors homer, bro. But I'm gonna get on ESPN and media in a second, bro. Because this shit gotta stop, bro. Y'all already trying to move Victor Wembanyama to LA or New York after his rookie year. Talking about the Spurs on the clock. They've been pushing this narrative. Yes.
Oh, bro, y'all have to understand. Anytime a rookie like Victor is in a market they don't want him in, they pushing that agenda as soon as before he even gets a shot up in the gym.
Hey, that's true because they did LaMelo the exact same way. They said LaMelo was going to the Lakers for the longest time.
I tell you, when Lakers like something, they're gonna try to poach our players.
Because Corey, I remember that whole narrative. I remember that. Go ahead, T. Sorry.
Also, how come nobody's giving the Orlando Magic love and they're the 4th seed in the East, bro? You barely hear a peep about them, bro.
That's
but
crazy.
This is the NBA media, the national media of the NBA is garbage, especially on ESPN. But the dynasty is dead. The Warriors might be able to get out of the play-in. They could give somebody a decent run in the first round, but that's all they're going to do. I mean, Steph can only take his team but so far.
Before he come home.
Yeah. The Warriors are in trouble, man. Wiggins is in and out of the lineup. Clay, he had a couple good games off the bench and he came back down to earth. Kuminga's doing what he can, but I mean, the rest of the team is just they're old, man. And sometimes when the dynasty's done, it comes at you fast, man. I remember when the Lakers, after they won back-to-back, Kobe got his 5th championship. They got swept by Dallas and got absolutely massacred on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
By the Mavs, man. Like sometimes the end comes quick. And we kind of saw this last year at the Warriors. They were struggling on the road, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna turn it on." And then you get to the playoffs, and you're fighting for your life against a Sacramento team, which should have beat them, but it took Steph did what he had to do. But then you go against the Lakers team that's had more size, and you get bounced in 6 games. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's more about the Warriors really than Boston. I mean, how's that a bigger game for Boston? The finals was 2 years ago. Like I said, they're 8 games ahead of the second place team, which is currently Cleveland. But then a couple of days later, you trick off a 21-point lead with 9 minutes to go against a Cavs team with no Donovan Mitchell. Evan Mobley's out of the game. Like, do we really trust Boston, man?
No. Man, no.
No, I was over here just patiently waiting to go.
No. I had to segue into it, bro. Go ahead, bro.
I already told you what's gonna give Boston the most trouble. And it looks like that's what happened like that when the Cavs beat them. So man, I don't know, bro. Trusting Boston is like, I don't know. Never mind. I ain't gonna say nothing. Go ahead.
I already told y'all what Boston. I already told y'all what Boston is. I already told y'all what Boston is. Boston is the 49ers of the NBA. Like, that's who they are. They're gonna steamroll teams during the regular season. And then you're gonna find that when it comes to pressure, their pipes are going to burst when they get to the offs, because then they start losing games. Like last year, they was losing home games they really wasn't supposed to. Like the Hawks series took longer than it should be. If they somehow face another team like Orlando or somebody, they probably going for no reason at all make that a 6-game, 7-game series, and then they're gonna have a tough battle depending on who they play in the second round. But I mean, but we say this in the chat already. If there's a time that Boston should win the finals, it's really this year.
Now,
It's really this year because like after
It
the
should've
moves they
been
made,
last
it should have been last year. But after the moves they made this year again, Porzingis and Drew Holiday, like
Yeah.
okay, there's really no. There's really like no excuses. Like they're 8 games ahead in the standings. Like you're pretty much showing that you're supposed to be that team because the only team on paper that people probably see them losing to in the finals is maybe a Clippers or a Denver team. But outside of that, it's like you should make it out of the East. Will they?
Mhm.
We don't know. We
One
don't
question.
I was
know.
gonna say
One question:
Go ahead.
Who's the fifth? Who's the 5th seed?
You don't know.
the Knicks as of right now.
The
They
Knicks.
good. Knicks might not even make it out the first round.
If the
Yeah,
Knicks,
that's what I was about to say.
If the Knicks aren't healthy, it's not going to be a problem. It's
Where
not going to be a
Miami
problem.
at?
Like if you don't
Miami's a 6 seed
where
right
Miami at?
succeed,
They are 6 seed.
So, hey, it may end up being what we always see.
Man.
If Miami can knock down,
no, please, no.
Milwaukee.
Cleveland's your
Milwaukee.
3 seed right now.
Oh
Cleveland's
God.
a 3 seed right now. So
Cleveland's
they'll
a
play
3
Cleveland in
seed?
the first round.
Cleveland's a
I
3
got-
seed.
And then
I got Miami.
The 2
I got
seed.
I got Miami against Cavs. I got Miami against the Cavs. I'll let y'all
Oh,
know
yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
I got Miami
I was
against the
saying
Cavs.
same thing.
And then
I was
you
saying
got
the
Miami
same
Early.
versus Milwaukee in the second round. Oh my God.
Hey, wait. Time out. No, hold up. Your 2-7 is Milwaukee versus Philadelphia. Now, again,
Oh.
if Joel Embiid is
Man.
if Joel Embiid is like 85-90%, bro.
Ooh-wee.
Man, some packs are
If
gonna
that-
get
if that's
rolled.
the case-
Hold on.
I got Philly in 7. Hold on, I gotta say this. I got Philly in 7. I'm not trusting Doc Rivers.
Hey, Corey, come on, man. You gonna go there? You gonna take it there? You taking it there early? You taking it there?
I'm calling this shit right now.
Are you
Like,
taking-
what's going to happen is this: they go get up to a 3-1 lead and then collapse epically the rest of that series.
Oh God.
Nah,
Man,
Look.
Corey is gonna go
No. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen, y'all. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Know why? Because this is what we're gonna do. This is for you, Glenn. Glenn, this is for you. We're gonna get this clipboard for you. We're gonna give you this. We're gonna give you this. And this is gonna up your culture rating by at least 10. We're gonna give you one of these. We're gonna give you one of these.
Right.
We're gonna
Well, look,
Y'all
Drake.
taking it out of his hand.
Hey, look, but Drake, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
He
You
don't know how
can't
to
make
use
it
that.
drink.
He don't know how to
You
use
can lead
that.
a horse to the water. You can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink.
I want to know the last time Doc saw a clipboard. Does he know what a clipboard?
This is a new one, Corey. This is a new one. The old one he been using is broke. This is from the size. If he lose with this, he just trash. If he can't make it to the finals with this, could Dave, what we got over here? Dave, what's over here? What's over here at size? What we got over here, Dave?
We got the sauce.
So if this don't help him get to the finals, like Gucci said, he just lost in the sauce, babe.
I'm gonna tell you what play he
He
gonna
just
run.
lost.
He gonna go away from Giannis. He gonna go away from Giannis, and he gonna have Brook Lopez shooting threes all game.
Hey,
Man, damn,
Yo.
he just
It's gonna be game 7.
Right here, we're trying
And
to
Dame sitting in the corner.
Come on, bro.
We know that's
He gonna have Pat Bell bringing the ball up. Dame gonna be on the bench. I'm calling it.
Oh
He
God.
gonna have Dame camped out in the corner and have Pat Bell running a 1-5 pick and roll with Brook Lopez with the
That's
game
nasty.
on the line with 3 seconds left.
That's
Oh my
nasty.
God. Man, Doc
And
Rivers
stand
deserves
by
to
at the end of the game.
Nah, if that happens, Doc Rivers deserves to get a price put on his head for that, bro.
Can the Bucks fire 2 coaches in one season?
If
I'm
they
letting
do,
y'all
that'd be
know.
legendary.
No, I'm being for real. I'm being for real. Cause
Look,
look,
ever happened.
how? Because you're the consultant of this team.
Facts.
And you consulted your way to getting the first coach fired so you could take his damn job. So if you go in there and take his damn job, and as a 2 or 3 seed, you lose to the Sixers, the
man.
team you just got, the team that just fired you. Oh nah,
Yo.
you can't come back here, man.
We're gonna have to
story
get
writes
recorded the whole
itself.
episode, bro. We're gonna have
The
to get
story
recorded the
writes
whole
itself.
episode.
That'd be a
I'm just
whole
gonna sit and
episode.
smile. I'm gonna let y'all talk, and I'm just gonna smile, and I'm gonna finish it. I told y'all. I told you what I say. I called this shit weeks ago.
Nah,
But that doesn't-
I pray we get that. I pray we get that matchup. I pray we get that matchup because I want to see the trolling from Joel Embiid.
Yeah. I was about to make that. Like, if Embiid is like at least 85%.
Huh? Where the Pacers at? What seed are the Pacers?
8. They in the play.
Oh, Boston in trouble. Boston in trouble.
Yeah, buddy.
Boston better shut down that fast break immediately. They better make Pacers a half-court team.
They not. They just gonna try to keep up the pace. They're gonna be running and trying to shoot threes.
They're gonna try to shoot themselves with the Pacers. We know throw up as many threes as they possibly can.
Like I said, enemy number one to Boston. It's a 3-point line.
Don't get Pacers confidence. Don't get the Pacers confidence. This is not a team you want to get confidence to.
That's
definitely don't need it.
But 4 through 8 right now, the East is really only a game and a half separating 4 through 8. So these seedings are going to change. And speaking of changing seedings, the West changes every single day. But
I don't even keep up with it no more until like the last 2 weeks.
2 or 3 times a day.
It's crazy. Right now, you got
Phoenix last night.
seed. My fault. Go ahead, T.
I was say Phoenix last night went to Denver on the road with no Devin Booker. Kevin Durant really didn't play that well. He shot the ball terribly, especially in the fourth quarter, but they found a way to send the game in overtime, and he took over. And Phoenix was able to get a big win on the road at Denver, a fully healthy Denver team. Murray played. He was struggling with an ankle here and there. Porter was solid last night, but Phoenix just found a way to win that game. And this is what we would say about the Phoenix Suns, man. Like, even without Booker, they have some firepower that can really give teams hell. They're currently the 6th seed, but we know they're only a game back of that 5th seed. And that's a team in the playoffs you don't want to see because they can multiple guys that can beat you. I mean, Grayson Allen's having a solid season. I hate to say it, but it is what it is. Nurkic is a presence down low. Bol could be an X factor. Like Phoenix is one of those teams that is just built for playoff basketball. You just don't want to see them. I was very impressed how they pulled that game out last night. I fell asleep early. I woke back up and I was able to watch the rest of the game. Like even with the loss, Denver's only a game back of the 1 seed. So there's a lot to be unsettled in the West. You're playing right now Sacramento, Dallas, LA, and Golden State.
A bloodbath.
Yeah, it was a great win by Phoenix last night because they've been struggling to close out games in the fourth quarter. For at least like the last month. I remember one game against
this all season. It's not really no. This is an all season issue.
Yeah,
since game all season. So, but like how you mentioned how like Kentucky is just that team that you probably don't want to see in a tournament. Like Phoenix reminds me of that team, and you probably like this analogy. I don't know you will. It's like that fighter. He might not be that good, but if he lands that one punch, it's going to change the whole fight. And that's what Phoenix reminds me of right now. Like they probably won't be the favorite on a lot of series where they match up at, but in theory, and I know it's against my wishes and everything, but they still pro level basketball players. When you see Durant, Bill, and Booker in sync at the same time while they're on the court there, it's a dangerous sight. Because their offense operates so many different ways and they have so many different sets that you might think the plays run for one person, but it's really for somebody else. And then they really established him. Royce O'Neal was a great pickup for them. They needed somebody that was like a good D and 3 guy. And then the team's been getting better when Bobo was starting to get a little bit more minutes off the bench. He kind of showed like some flashes of what he can possibly be, at least in his role, like a good role player. But they still had some issues, especially with finishing games. But if
So
Phoenix
they need a point guard.
that's what they need, and that's their problem. I think that's going to be their biggest Achilles heel in the playoffs when things get sporadic and erratic in the playoffs, and they kind of need to like change the pace and slow things down or move it. They really don't have that point guard to do that.
Because Book can make plays, but he wants to get his at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna get tired of playing the one. He's gonna get tired of playing the one.
And that's the same with KD. And I guess that's why Bill's the guy they say he should be playing point more. But Bill at his best when he's playing off ball too. So they really just need to find a point guard somewhere.
Not even a point guard. They can get like a point forward. They could actually run it from that position, and they run it like how Golden State used to. If they do something like that, that would definitely work for them.
Yeah, but how many players are like? But how many players are like Draymond? But how many players are like Draymond that can do what Draymond does and be that point forward? Like it's really like Draymond, and then like LeBron. Like who else can you see that's going to be able to you pick up and facilitate that role? So they just need to get that point guard. I don't know where, because there's no really point guards out there that's Phoenix is gonna need.
What you call it? Breaking Golden State breaking down like that. They should be a team to make a run for Draymond.
Yeah, for next year.
Yeah,
they have a cap space.
They're about to say they have a cap space. That wouldn't be a bad shout.
Man, you know teams don't give a fuck about that cap space.
This shit does not exist.
They really don't.
But
right now,
they got some.
Go ahead, T.
I just want to say this. I want to say this real quick. Fuck the CBA. All right, I'm good.
That's all day.
I was like, we got some
every
that's
day.
it.
Man, we got some monster matchups though this week.
Yeah.
Like later on tonight, we got Milwaukee at Golden State. Tomorrow we got Boston versus Denver, which could be a finals preview.
Yeah.
Also, Miami's at Dallas. Dallas has been struggling lately, and Miami's the last team you want to see when you're struggling. Let's see. Friday we have Minnesota at Cleveland, and then we have Milwaukee at LA. Giannis versus LeBron's always going to be must-see TV. Saturday primetime game. We got Boston at Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Booker could be back for that primetime game on Saturday. That'll be interesting to see if he can come back and be at full strength. Then Sunday we have Milwaukee at the Clippers.
Yeah.
We have Minnesota at
Wolves
LA.
and the Lakers. Yeah.
I was say Wolves Lakers.
So, what game are you guys looking forward to? I know y'all probably gonna say Boston and Denver, but I'm actually looking forward to that Boston versus Phoenix game. But Boston versus Denver, does Boston need to beat Denver since Denver went into Boston and beat them earlier? What do you guys think?
Boston has a lot of proven games.
Yeah, we're gonna see about Boston.
Yeah.
Boston has been kind of feasting on.
To me, it's the Phoenix game, though. To me, it's the Phoenix game because we're going to see how they can defend when they see three. If Booker plays three scorers on the floor at the same time, because in theory, that's what they're going to be saying if they play the Clippers. So I kind of want to see when they can't double team and key in certain stars. Let's see what they got to do when you got to put Drew 1-on-1, and then you got to put Derek White 1-on-1, and then who like Jason Tatum or Brown 1-on-1 with KD. Let's see how those three match up against each other when it matters.
That's a good shout. I didn't think about it like that. That is going to be it. I feel like, I might lean to that game because you got three legit scorers. And how does Boston defend all of that on the perimeter when you got a Bill?
To be honest, how do they defend Joker? How do they defend Joker?
That is another option too. How do they defend Joker?
I don't think at this point in Joker's career, I'm about to say like at this point, I don't think there's really a formula to stop Joker the way he plays because he's going to score or he's going to facilitate. So
there's only one person who can guard a 1-on-1. That's Embiid. I also have Embiid. You just have Joker score, but you want to take away his facilitating as much as possible. That's why
they tied it.
When Philadelphia beat Denver earlier, Nick Nurse took Embiid off of Joker until the fourth quarter, but they had them playing the zone, and it kind of threw off Denver's timing of their offense. And then they switched back into having Joel guard Joker down the stretch, and they were able to pull away in that game. But really, outside of a guy like Embiid, nobody's going to guard Joker 1-on-1, but you got to try to take away his facilitating as much as possible. That's when he's at his best, when he's facilitating.
Because his game opens up more than.
Yeah, you got to figure out a way to slow down that Jamal Murray pick and roll. So maybe, I don't know if Boston wants to do it, but maybe use a zone, because it kind of, that Philadelphia game early in the year when that zone really worked, and Boston has the personnel to run the zone, but I don't know if they will. They might hold on to it for the finals matchup. So
that's a smart idea. I never thought about that.
I saw that game earlier this year that Terrence is referencing, and that did work. They went zone heavy, second,
Nick Nurse,
third quarter, then when the fourth quarter came around, he dropped out of the zone.
Games.
He's a madman.
He dropped out of a matchup zone.
Evil genius.
He's a hell of a coach, though.
He's an evil genius.
Nick Nurse got one of these. Nurse got one of these.
Yep. He sure does.
Nick Nurse certified. Nick Nurse certified.
He stay with one of those.
Yep.
Well, sometimes you just gotta get different looks. I'll never forget, I know it's high school ball, but we were I was coaching with this kid. They were trying to recruit this guy to the school. I had to hear all this hype. We had played him earlier in the season, played man. He torched us, so threw a triangle and 2 on him. Completely took him out of the game. Sometimes you have to just throw something completely unconventional just to kind of throw off the rhythm and timing, because basketball is a rhythm sport. What people believe. So it's kind of like football. When you make, a lot of times you're reacting, but when you make somebody think and it slows down that reaction time, it can be just enough to throw off rhythm and timing of the offense. So sometimes you got to do that. But I don't know. Maybe that's something that Boston's holding on to for a finals matchup versus Denver. Who knows? But maybe that's what I would do.
But is Missoula gonna do that?
Yeah, I said, does analytics tell you to run a zone?
Missoula, he definitely don't got one of these. He definitely don't got one of these. The board is not there in Boston. It's all team. It's all team and talent.
See, I'm gonna tell you, this is how it works in Boston. Brad Stevens, he got this cigar that he chants to, and that's when Red Spirit come out of it.
Oh my God. Man.
Corey said he's going to a dark room and do a chant to a cigar.
Red got to tell him what to do, and he got to report it back to Missoula. That's how it works in Boston.
Oh, Paranormal Activity ass franchise, boy.
Hey, bro, I saw a post earlier about the Celtics logos, bro. The one they dated back in 1945 had the Nazi logo on the
Hell Hydra ass franchise.
Hey, but
Hey yo, chill.
Yo, Corey, Kevin McHale is the Red Skull.
Hey yo. So would that make Danny age? Would he be Zemo? Would Danny age be Zemo?
I can't. Hey, God.
This 10-day outlaw is real nuts right now. It's real nuts. It's real nuts right now. But please keep going. Please keep going.
Hey, bro. Hey, Cap on Frozen saw black people playing for the Celtics, bro. You probably, what the hell is going on here?
Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
I'm done.
Jason Tatum, Winter Soldier. Jason Tatum ain't number the Winter Soldier. Wait till he peace out and go to LA.
Oh my God.
You know what? That's on brand, because he really do got two different personalities. You got the Jason Tatum that wants to be a family man, wants to do good, so he trash, and then you got the killer inside that can beat anybody except for maybe for a couple of people. But boy, cause man, no, man, don't. I'm not gonna start with y'all. Y'all don't want me to go Marvel with this shit. Don't get me started, bro.
Boy started
We have
me.
a whole Marvel breakdown episode.
Don't do this. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. I ain't dealing with y'all niggas, man.
Hey, yo, I'm crying. Hey, yo, wrap it up.
Hey, son.
I know we ain't heard from BT in a while. BT, you got any thoughts on these games this weekend? I know a lot of us have been focused on that Boston-Denver matchup Thursday night, and then we got the big matchup on Saturday on primetime. What's your thoughts?
No, I was just listening to y'all, man. Y'all had some great insight. But no, I agree. I'm interested in that Boston and Phoenix game. Just because, I mean, I think Drew and Derek, I think that backcourt defensively is like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with Boston like that, but I think they definitely got a defensive backcourt. So it's going to be interesting to see them match up with Booker and Bill. And KD, I mean, nobody can guard KD, bro. So you can put Brown or Tatum on him. He going to get his 20 plus. So, but it's that backcourt I want to see. If Booker play, hopefully he plays. But yeah, I agree with y'all, man. Boston, I mean, they should make the finals. Should. I mean, I don't really trust no teams in the East, to be honest with you. Like, I like Dame, but Doc Rivers is coach. You know what I'm saying? So, and
I'm scared
stay healthy.
I'm scared of a healthy Heat team in the playoffs. Cause I know the finals ratings is going to take another hit, bro.
We don't need them in the finals again.
We
bro.
don't not need that, bro.
Yeah, no disrespect. No disrespect.
I need Miami to act like they're seed and get bounced early. Act like they're seed and get bounced.
But for some reason, they just be punking the hell out of the Bucks and the Celtics, man.
Yes. Yeah. And I just gotta look at the Bucks and Celtics and just say, man up, bro.
You know what it is? You know what it is? You want to know why they get to pump them like that? Dre, hold it up for me one more time. Coach Spo, he got one of these.
Let's go. Coach got a gold plated one of those.
We want to end this episode Clipboard talk.
Yeah.
Hey Corey. Hey Corey, my man Spo got that golden. My man got that golden that gold board icon next to him, bro. That's Coach Spo.
Keep going crazy. You see that bitch light up?
Yeah.
Oh, he running crazy.
Yeah, NBA 2K crazy. Coaching takeovers.
Boy, you see that shit pop up under 2 minutes? He about to cook. Right. He's about to cook. Right. He about to cook.
So I just call timeout and be like, nope.
Hey, he gonna be running. He gonna be running Bam at the top of the key. He gonna have switches.
All types
of niggas
like I got to give credit. I got to give credit to Coach Spo, man, because he's the only person I know that can make Jimmy Butler go from Ricky Davis to Michael Jordan in 2 days.
For real.
Hold up. For real. It's Jimmy time, ain't it? I think it's Jimmy time.
Wait, it's almost that time.
Wait till first week of April.
It's almost that time. We're a few weeks out. We're a few weeks out.
That motherfucker be playing like he MVP every year.
Man, fuck all that, man. Go home, bro. Go to Cancun, bro.
You telling them to take care of their families day? They got go home, take care of your families day.
You live in fucking Miami, man. Enjoy that shit, man.
They said go spend time with the kids. They said go live. Go live on Sundays.
Live.
Yeah, live on Sundays. G5 Monday, Saturday night, wherever it is. Go do that, bro. Go to the office. I ain't talking about work. I'm talking about the office. You know about the office in Miami. You know what I'm talking about. Go there. Go to South Beach. Go to where all that, man. You don't need this playoff shit, bro. Come on, bro. We want to see these good matchups. We want to see these good matchups. You fucking it up, man. You fucking it up for everybody.
You fucking it up. They say I got parlays, man.
Yeah.
They say they're supposed to time on the beach because the spring breakers can't.
Right.
Basically.
Oh,
Basically.
Hey, bro. Yeah, Brad, wrap it
But I
up.
was about to say we gonna wrap it up there, y'all. Again,
Oh my god.
you know, we're gonna have more content coming out next week. We'll be
So hold on,
wrapping up.
is Adam Silver the watcher because he watching and don't be doing shit then? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Wrap it up. I'm sorry. Wrap it up. I'm wrapping it. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
You are still
I'm
going
sorry.
down a horrible rabbit hole. We'll have an
I'm
episode
sorry.
about that. Don't worry.
Okay, my bad.
We gonna
Go
have
ahead,
more
Brett.
content coming out.
Finish it up, Brett. My bad.
We'll have some more content coming out. I know Dave and the fellas are going to have a special episode talking about the women's college hoops. They have Selection Sunday coming up for them. Some big games coming up in their conference tournaments as well. We'll have reactions from the Carolina Duke game, the Kentucky game, the Houston Kansas game. Also, final regular season wrap up. We still continue to cover the NBA. Races are getting tighter, especially in the West. You know, right now we got, you know, Houston and the Clippers battling out on ESPN. So we'll have more coverage of the NBA as well. We got some boxing coming up. So we have some big boxing matches coming up here as well that we're going to try to cover, as well as the NFL draft. They just got done with the combines the other week. We'll have some close to the draft time. We'll have some draft talk as well to see what some of these quarterbacks and some of these other key position players will be going, and what we think some of these teams might do from a strategy standpoint going into the offseason. As always, follow us wherever you get your podcast.
We're going to be back on the road soon. We're going to be back at these games soon. So follow the Instagram. Make sure you tap in all platforms.
Yeah, tap in with all of us individually. Tap into all of our.
I'm about to say, all y'all sure got your Facebook accounts back, so no more excuses.
Let's say tap in with us on all social media. Tap in with us individually. Tap in with us, Sabs and 4 Podcast on all social media, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. So subscribe and like us on YouTube. And as always, fellas, as Dave always says, we are not hard to find. And always we know, Sabs and 4, we dominate the competition and we are out.
Yes, indeed.